Hello, Frontiersmen. The following footage is from Sunday, March 2nd. It is campaign on my free to play account of stages 4, 5, and 6. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the following. All right, so we'll log into the baby account.
So where are you in? Have you already? I'm assuming you probably have done your abyss, hard abyss.
Yeah, that's what I started with today.
Yep.
So don't need this thing open. 5, this one here. I can this game open more in the background. Yep, so that's what we started with today. The first hour of the stream is what you call it. The first hour of the stream would be Party Biz. Daily login from a baby account. Oh, we got a blue beacon. Got a free shop goodie here. So this is a full free to play account. It stings so hard knowing how good Los can be to not get like Los, and then you have like the starter packs and like there was some packs. Yeah, there were packs that came in here that had legendary refits. I'm like, fucking fiending. Even these, I'm like, oh, I want to get the battle passes and the pet licenses. But no, we're going straight full free to play on this account. What we've done so far is we pulled all the beacons I had on yesterday's stream. So we got 2 prayers. Pull real quick. Eventually, I want to hit a point to where I'm just like saving my beacons, but right now, any new unit could be like game changing, so that's fine. That's very basically where like you see like nothing's unlocked here. Like nothing is unlocked. I don't know, like I think multi battle might be unlocked. But yeah, so what am I on the stream? So when I go to cut this up, so I'm right at 2 hours. Okay, let me write this. Where'd my notepad go? Oh, my phone's on it. Yeah, so the first part of the stream went an hour longer than expected, but it's fine. It's fine. You're not mad. I'm mad. Okay, so 2 hour FT. But I did get so on the scans, I was able to hit the scans for 240 energy twice today, which is the max scans at that lower level. So I was pretty happy about that.
Oh, that explains your
This,
count of your energy.
yeah, well, this is the baby account. This is just because I've been collecting codes. Like they said, I mean, I am a weekend to log in, but you know, I've only logged in so many times. I started this account February 14th. So I've only logged in half the time that I could have because I hadn't been doing anything with it. I had footage for the first bit of the campaign and I fucked it. I didn't have my voice recording when I did it. So I just have footage of like a mouse going all over and obviously I'm talking about stuff, but I have no idea. So, all right, just gone dead footage. We streamed yesterday the campaign 2 and 3. So the plan is to go through each one of these 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, get through those. Whatever I can condense down into an hour, or maybe if they go like half-hour truncations, that way it's a little bit more watchable, kind of like a let's play type series of just getting through the campaign, right? That signal cloud is covering the research station. Warden's pet project. Also been doing like my stupid voiceovers. Couldn't even get a single ship in and out without being noticed. Good thing you're something of an expert handling mobs, huh? Yes. Oh, and you'll see real quick. This will be fun for you. My new account. I did a video on the get your epic, your free legendary, but I've got morale that I pulled. We're running shelter, flammel, so that's my maybe double triple tank bubble if needed. But I pulled Yuyan and Sokol. Obviously, shelter should be just fine, but I use shelter so much. I want to play with Flammel or Flamel just for fun. I don't really know that I need morale, but he's got a skill 1 defense break or a provoke. So it's kind of, come on me with provoking taunt. This is like my poor man's version of Maddox is what I'm looking at it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's how I'm thinking about it.
Who
So,
is it? Flamel
no,
or
no, Moro.
Morel? Okay.
Yeah, he's his skill one. He's got a poor man's provoke.
Does he have taunt? Probably not, right?
What's got
Or he has provoke.
provoke? Yeah. So you have to kind of more skillfully position him, but yeah. Whereas Maddox is just like, all of you face me now.
Mm.
So there's going to be a little skill involved with positioning, but that's fine. I think something like this, and then I can just place damage in the backs back here and do my thing. I still need a chemical affinity attacker. Truth be told, I don't need to run 2 debuffers, but I've already proven an unskilled, just for the beginning of the stream here, we'll go to, because this is super handy. I'm curious, do you run normal 2-6 on campaign yourself just for green beacons and green mainframes?
I used to, but I think if you're like a patient player, I don't mind doing the slow way, which is going through the hard abyss. That's my preference.
Well, so here's what I'm saying is like, so he's level 40, no skills, I can't even get to him, no gear. And being that he's free to play, or free to get, okay, cool, his shield eats that. So you're on a 4 to 5 second run. And you're going to get credits, XP, junk gear, but the fact that you can get mainframes and green beacons out of there. I mean, I run it a ton still because I'm still boosting units on my main account. Like, I plan on making the promotion events is either today or tomorrow. I plan on making 3, maybe 4 new 6-star units.
Gotcha. Damaging an enemy.
So what are you working on right now? Are you playing around with that vault jank?
Yeah, I'm just checking, like, seeing what I have in my ultimates and things like that, and then definitely gotta check if it's worth it. It probably isn't. Looks like if my Sentinel,
You have a font of power? I do have a legendary font of power on him. The video that I posted,
I only have an epic, so
that's fine. That's fine.
That's a major, so I should be able to pull that eventually. Surprised I haven't.
How many refits are you sitting on? That's what it really comes down to. Like, do you have enough to R2 him and R2
yeah, but
Lionheart?
see that's the thing is like I don't that would just be I think that would be very dumb of me to do that since I'm going to since I'm playing a lot more approaching this change my game approach is just play more passively, so those Lego refits are not going to come by as much.
Well, you'll still get your
I think like Sentinel would be the only one because yes, I use them in other things. So
I'd bet say you don't have speed teams basically built around Sentinel for the most part.
Speed teams for what? Like clears? You mean?
Yeah, like all the bounties and all the anomalies.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do use Sentinel, but I mean, I literally just used R0, so and like.
Oh, you're not
extra
reliant on the
mil
healing.
Or 2 in damage for Sentinel and Vault. Do I really care for it? Not really.
Got you.
So yeah, let me see what I have here. And the fact that that there'll be more units coming in, it's just probably best to save.
Did you pull for Chimichanga?
I did.
Did you go R2 or did you go just grab?
No, just R1. I'm not seeing him as like he's not too sexy, right? But people are using.
I was just say arena. So. Yeah, he seems like an arena healer because he's just like, I don't know what speed you want him at. It's going to probably go, but like, you come in, you have an Iridium who starts with the pregame taunt. So cool. Say you face an Iridium. This is how I'm looking at it, right? You face an Iridium. Iridium comes in pre-match taunt. And then you have, say, like a 160 speed Chimmy, and he's just like, nope, fuck your taunt. We're going to shoot where we're
Hmm.
positioned to. Shepard, what do you think you're doing? You're not exactly welcome around here anymore. Purifier, listen, we both know something is horribly wrong here. I need you to let us through. For old time's sake? Question mark? Lol.
So, oh
I'm
man,
afraid it's too
oh
late
my
for that.
god, wait a minute. This would be the time for me to literally test a legendary Chrono on Valkyrie.
Ooh.
Can you imagine just having a legendary Chrono on Judge, Valkyrie, and Hyan?
You have 3 of them?
No, I finally got my first one, but Epic Chrono Weaver does not really work out well with Valkyrie. I've had more success with just using the Void Catalyst. So,
I'm using Insidiousness.
ultimate, or I'm assuming that's an ultimate, right?
No, that's the major. It's the one,
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
when
So I'm talking
applying a
about
debuff, you have a
ultimates.
chance to attack again.
Is it again?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a
this is where I gotta
percentage.
like. Yeah, this is where I gotta take count of all my stuff here. Okay,
So,
what's
for clarity, before
happens?
running that shit last night, just
Yeah.
in general, so March 1st, or I guess February 28th, somewhere in there, I went ahead and I spent 3 or 4,000 platinum, and I just
Mhm.
wiped everything. Like, all my units, I stripped all their gear.
Yeah.
I
You,
took,
you rebuilt it. I think I remember you mentioned about it.
yeah,
So.
so I rebuilt everybody from the ground
Hmm.
up, and I spent 3 or 4,000 platinum to get all of
Yeah.
my refits off of people and where I went. Like I just went through like, so like Crocus had a weird thing. I'm not using Crocus and generally, so I'm like, okay, cool, take it off him. He doesn't need a legendary refit of any kind right now.
Right. Yeah.
Now it might still just be sitting there unused, but the whole searching for, oh, I know I've got a legendary insidiousness. Where is it? Like, no, it's on Valkyrie. I use her the most as a debuffer. She gets it. It's gonna stay there. So it's forcing you into using Purifier, who is a cleanser, because there are debuffers on this.
Oh my, you're going through tutorial?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
confused.
I'm still on the tutorial for the game. So
Is that because where are you in? I
uh,
didn't think you would have to.
I'm on the side quest missions.
Huh.
So
Anyway.
before we do anything, let's go find Purifier. Where is she?
Okay, when an
I
ally
actually have
has
2 of her.
its of this unit's max HP. Oh my god. Yeah, that R2 on Sentinel is nice.
Hmm.
Interesting. Although you don't want a too high of a HP on Sentinel, otherwise Vault is gonna focus on it later on the
If you're
round.
putting Font of Power on him, like my Sentinel is
Yeah, no,
all attack power across the bottom.
you would only use the font power just for the attack, like
Well, that's what I'm
you
saying. Like I don't have HP stats on him. I have attack stats.
right. Yeah. Yeah, that's something like I don't as you can see I've finally got my Sentinel and here I am. I'm still like trying to I've very much neglected obviously.
I mean, it's just a
Um,
priority,
so
right?
I built my, yeah, I was gonna say I built my, what is it, my boost sets like completely wrong because I think I did it for mostly HP defense. Looks like crit, yeah, just HP and defense. So yeah, I gotta fix that situation on Sentinel then. How am I gonna do this?
I just sent you down a rabbit hole of change all your gear on Sentinel.
Well, no, I've gotten into Vault like recently, like started to focus on it since I want to help out some of the other alliances that are very close to like
Oh,
completing a
that's
Nightmare
right.
Vault.
You switched alliances.
You know, yeah, I just realized that I guess there is no point in me. I just realized something. In for Nightmare Vaults, people only get rewards if they meet their score, right? Oh no, so it still will be helpful because they can still get double the rewards if
Yeah, you get double.
Nightmare is destroyed
You
too.
get
Okay,
double
so
for the
that's good.
kill.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's definitely worth it. Then yeah, okay. Interesting. So there really aren't that many small alliances that can just destroy Nightmare Vault, though. That's the thing. Not destroy it. Sorry. Get the keys for it. I have to look into that. Interesting. Okay, let me check Lionheart. Yeah. So I mean, we probably don't know what's gonna be changed on Lionheart in that case, right? I'm assuming.
No, I didn't get any information on what's going to be
Yeah.
done that way. I
Gotcha.
assume, just an assumption, I would
Hmm.
assume it's going to be something of a vault specific nerfing. Because how he's soaking power for all the direct damage that comes in for the team, the problem is Vault doesn't do direct damage but once a round. And so he does it.
Oh,
If you read his thing, it's I'd have to open up that other count now, but when you look at it, it's the first attack of the round that your team takes it. He does it. So I really think it's going to be something that way. Maybe, I don't know.
hmm.
Okay, so here, so anybody watching through, for new accounts, the chemical neuro implants. These are how you skill up your ships. It's going to unlock a new area called Anomaly. Take a look here. Trying to continue the story there, but I want to collect this chest. Okay, some more energy. Let's back out of here. Anomaly opens up at 5-4. But what I think what happens is now you can go on here and we'll be able to click on to easy way to see if you're even able to do some of this. You can just go into your inventory and you see how much stuff you have here as far as being able to what you can upgrade. The epics will cost you more. The legendaries will use R3 versions of skills. So obviously, I'm not going to be able to do this probably because I don't have any R3s. You can pay to upgrade these. We'll do a specific video about this later on, showing how some of this can work and whether it's worth it or not. So right now we're looking to just see, is there anybody I can actually skill up? I don't have the R2s available. I don't even have the R1s available here. Typically, you should be playing with blue units. Purifier is very useful later in the game, especially on the Mama bounty. So we'll take a look at her. Should be able to, yeah. So I've got 180. I'm pretty sure that's what. Basically, you're getting your first deal, and what this does is it tells you on this skill, it's going to take it from the Binderberg Resilience 1, and it's going to go to Binderberg Resilience 2. So we'll hit the upgrade. You got your skill upgrade, and it tells you what it's done. And then now when you look at your skill, it'll tell you it does BR2. So that's how those work on there. And you get a little bit of what is that, command power, combat power out of it. I fully suggest, as you can, skilling up all of your units. Let's see here. So we have 10 anomaly bosses. I can't do that yet. 10 bounty bosses. We can do that. Upgrade equipment 4 times. We need to start collecting dailies here. I can't do arena until it won't tell me when it unlocks it screen. The idea, you really want to be able to collect do your dailies, which I've never actually completed any dailies on this account, so that 50 platinum every day is going to be huge for you. So let's go along campaign still, and we'll work on dailies towards the end of the day. And I think, in general, Blue Affinity is going to be off. Here. Don't actually have another attacker built to use currently. Actually, I want this here. We're going to give Valiant some levels. Most of your blue units are part of Fusion, so you can't really feel too bad about upgrading them to level 30. Yeah, I've definitely been slow playing doing this account. The sheer amount of videos that you can make for tutorial type stuff along the way, explaining different stuff, is going to be crazy. And I feel like to actually properly put it out there, probably end up having to do 2 or 3 accounts, collecting footage along the way. At least with these being live streams, I can always like delete the audio from it and then cut up the footage into different screen areas and collate those videos. That's more editing versus if I just here's a stage 4 video, you know. When we unlock multi battles, fun. Multi battles when you can actually start going and doing some farming, right? So Ward and his crew have been making bio warships. I never actually read most of this stuff on my first playthrough. I was just like, let me fight. Let's go. Aerolingus, have you started a second account for funsies? Or you just say,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not?
I don't have the patience for that. I
Got
don't
you.
think I could. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've definitely thought about it because it's from interesting perspective of testing out different combinations but yeah, no.
So that only took us 20 minutes to get through there, so that's cool. Be sure to collect your rewards along the way.
Holt, did you with your Lionheart situation in the vault?
Mm-hmm.
You got stopped at like 301? Is that correct in vault?
302.
Nightmare.
Yeah. All right.
302.
Well, so 302 was ticking along, and I think once it hit to where it would start 302, then it was like, okay, you're done.
Yeah. So you never died. And the funny thing is, actually, yeah, wait, did you lose any of your units?
I didn't lose a single one.
Yeah. So it's funny because, oh my God, it is so tempting to R2. Actually, R2, I could probably get away with not having to R2 Sentinel. But R2ing Lionheart, right? And then I would use I think all my units then would be I would get more bonus from the Legionnaire squad leader.
Yeah, I did. To
So
be
I would
honest, I
get
didn't
like
even really
additional
look at.
7.5 attack percent. So and you hit like 191. So I think with that, like I could probably hit 200 in that case.
Oh, he's going for the record, huh? You got this. Do it.
No, I mean, nah. Lionheart. Well, I'm trying to see like how else, is he gonna be good in other things too?
I think so. I think just with his he because he buffs adjacent stuff on his crit, so you could position him center. Because think how many Mei Yings are center in arena. I think you could position him center to just eat Mei Ying shit, and then if as long as he's 100% crit and you have something kind of adjacent, because Mei Ying doesn't splash sideways, only forwards. So if he's eating Mei Ying stuff, and you have, say, something next to him like a judge or whatever in stealth gear next to him, so he gets his attack and crits. Oh, now he's throwing a buff onto your judge who's going to hit even harder, who's probably going into an Isha, Iridium, some other taunt tank. Just, like, that was mentally kind of tweaking some other areas. Now, the way you gear him, probably, like, I currently have mine geared for the 250-ish resist.
Yeah, for your Lionheart.
Mm-hmm. Like his HP is only like 55 or 60k. He's not that tanky. I don't even think he's over 10k defense. Because it's all about getting the crit rate. Like, I'm basically using a tank as a buffer and using the cheat death. Like, high end, after like round 30, high end becomes the tank. And all she's doing is cheat deathing him because he's a damage sponge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious what. Yeah, I feel like my high end needs to. She's lacking in something. It feels like I think she needs to heal better.
So I do have a heal set on her. I think I have a heal. I think I have a heal, protection, and HP set on her. I show it at the end of the video. I should have just left that other account open.
You're doing your thing on your new account as well. So
it's good, man.
Sheena gives all adjacent allies 10% at the start of combat. See, that's like an automatic no for Arena already because of Los. People use Los, and so you just can't really have too much of adjacency in Arena because splash damage from Liberator and Volk, not Volk, but Los. Although could make up. Oh, but that's a defense one. I was gonna think it could survive a Los hit maybe, but probably not.
If you had a Los adjacent to him for the buff, Los would take it because Los has that bubble shit built in.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times Los taking and getting her bubble adjacency, or not bubble, but her bubble keeps her alive for that extra round. Then like, oh, that's the difference in a win or a loss.
Yeah, definitely. If the hit is critical, this unit deals. It additionally grants to all adjacent, so R2. Oh, that's interesting. I would not really. Oh, but he does heal, so I guess do people build Lionheart with a crit cap?
Yeah, because you have to crit cap him to get the attack buffs.
Stat?
Dude, so if you watch that video back, he was healing for like 80 to 120k.
Was he really?
Dude, he was healing so big. So he tops himself off, and then the boss would hit him again, and he's like, okay, cool. All right, it's not even that the boss would hit him. The boss would attack Hyann, but since he's soaked all that damage from across the team, so he's topped off, and then he takes a hit for 300 to 500,000 damage. Cheat death procs, gets 1 health. Sentinel then turns around and heals him, gives him like a 2,500 to 3k heal, just so it's like, okay, here's a little start. The cycle continues. Hyann goes before the boss. Hyann hits him for the 30, 40k heal, and then he's about to go. The shield comes up, he attacks that, and then boom, he heals himself again. It's just a cycle of, like, I'm not sure how much the timing really matters in it.
Yeah.
I did have him in, so that was one of the weird things. So on Nightmare, he can sit in the Sentinel buff zone, but on Brutal, he can't sit in it. There's something like that speed buff gets him out of sync on Brutal. But so, like, mine, I think, was like 95 speed, so he could take the speed buff and still sit in the bubble popping zone just fine.
Nice.
But you saw it running on Brutal too. It didn't really matter whether he was in in the buff or not.
It's because of that passive, I'm assuming, for sure. R2. Yeah, it's probably not. I'm probably not gonna do it. Because it's gonna get changed in a day or two, right?
So. Yeah, Ruck said on the next patch, he's like, something will be adjusted.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking. I thought his passive kind of looked oddly interesting for vaults. It was like, wait a minute, he's gonna take the first direct hit all the time. That's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. So high end takes no damage because he eats it, and it doesn't actually apply to him until it comes his turn
Hmm.
again. So
So
that's
is that on the no? Oh yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Cool. Glad you figured that one out. What else? So I gotta look into my Sentinel though. I think he definitely needs to be updated first. Oops. Font of Power. Does he have it? No. Defense, crit. Defense and crit. We literally don't care about that.
yeah, it felt weird. Like crit on a tank has always just for me at least been kind of like a okay, here's a stat that you kind of take, right? But like
Yeah.
actually
Well, it's
building
interesting
for like I
because
want 100% crit was like, all right, this is interesting. It's making me throw off other stats to get what I.
yeah. Well, you definitely use it. People do use it on Isha.
Yeah.
So now there's two tanks that, two and some other tanks that we probably are overlooking that could use crit cap. So
I've had my
it's
Maddox crit cap playing around with him at times. I
uh,
I even tried putting him on what you call it set, the reflect set, but after your discussion when you're messing around with reflect, okay, it's cool. Like so, say a 20k hit's going to come in, but it doesn't matter because the high defense on Maddox is going to say your
yeah,
20k hit becomes a 12k hit, so the reflect back is even further lessened. So reflect on tanks doesn't work the way you think it
it
would.
does not. No.
I think that's a set bonus manipulation that they could make where like it reflects back damage unadjusted for defense, and then you can be like, okay, reflect tanks become a thing.
I'm not
But do
sure
you
if
really
crit,
want like 100k HP Isha reflect tank to deal with?
but so why did you crit Maddox? Because a crit does not. I don't believe it affects reflect
It
whatsoever.
it doesn't. It was just when I was playing around with him, it just happened. He was at like
Oh, okay,
89%, and I was like, fuck it, let's
gotcha.
find the other 11% on implants.
Yeah,
Okay, so we were just
you're also
awarded.
right that you play around and stuff like that. It's always good to
Yeah,
have someone
give
to
me
do it.
1 second. So we were just awarded Yarrow. I've already pulled him. He is a debuffer. There's something with these guys that to learn. They generally want to go with hacking. It's like with Apex that we were talking about when we pulled him in the other video. To get this corrosion stick, you do need hacking. This is a primary hacking unit. This is one of the units out there that you do want to have hacking in as a subset that you try for, whereas your attackers is all just attack. The way hacking works, it stacks based on their security. You need to be able to have more hacking than your opponent's security, and there's going to be affinity advantages. The reason this guy's really good is because he is the antimatter, so he has affinity advantage or a non-advantage basically, or a non-disadvantage. You can read his skills, and these obviously go up. He increases his own hacking a couple of times, so that's always going to be good too. Just things to look for on these units when you're gearing them to putting hacking as substats, and then on one of your pieces of gear across the bottom, the middle slot, you can put a primary stat hacking gear in there, and there are hacking sets that you can farm later in the game. So now we have Yarrow. I'm pretty sure we already had him just on pools. I used him a little bit on my main account to a little bit of a disappointment. So you use at your own discretion. Gotcha. Good.
Yeah, I had to use the Yarrow in the beginning. It's a very friendly user friendly for beginners. To start with the vault specifically.
Yeah, so and okay, so anomalies are unlocked. Let's go to anomalies. So this is where we earn our skill ups. Uh the first thing before we go in here, we're going to electric anomaly. Let's take a look at which ships we have and how things work with these. This will actually be its own video. I'll probably just we'll back out of this and come out to it. I'll just do welcome to anomaly. So we've completed enough to get our free battle pass stuff. There's a little bit of XP off this. I'd love to buy this on this account because Liberator is dope. You guys saw earlier in the stream how good Liberator can be, just even in Hard Abyss, like just absolutely decimating stuff. Campaign there. And there is an event for antimatter event, so we will mess around with that later on. And we have completed our recruitment thing. I didn't realize we completed that. I'm curious to see on a free-to-play account how much working through these is actually worth it. The 2 beacons are always fun. And you can get a couple more beacons by completing this. The problem is with this, you only get 3 points apiece, 4 points apiece based on level. So trying to get 1,600 points and say you're only able to do level 5, that's a long slog. I can't see making that many runs viable. But I'll test it and we'll see how it goes. We have a day left to mess with it. Let's go ahead and hit these other 2 beacons since we're live. Shelter, that's a skill up later for the other shelter. And Faust, I've literally never even looked at her other than my initial reading of skills. Playtime rewards coming in for the day. Go ahead and collect these. Like I said, these you don't actually have to be playing. You just log in, let it sit for 3 hours, and you'll get free stuffs. We're going to continue with the campaign. It has been 2.5 hours. Yeah, we'll continue with the campaign. Looks like we'll get 3 floors per hour. Maybe. We got to finish Berisham. Did we actually... Like we did come up here and do these. Yeah. Halfway paying attention to what I'm doing. Ideally, you want your blue going into this. Probably drop Yuyan. So that's green affinity. There'll be a negative advantage here. He'll tank for Sokol. I could have just sent this, but I want to have good habits being built from anybody watching this as far as like positioning properly rather than just like, oh, throw your ships out there and let them do things. Like you should actually consider your positioning more properly. At the same time, you should probably throw gear on your ships, but at this point, we haven't needed gear on the ships. If we start dying or taking massive amounts of damage, like we're just out leveled, like we're level 30s versus level 19s. It only makes sense that we don't necessarily need to do that. All we really need to check here is make sure there's no back attackers. Everything goes into our front line. Green to green, blue into orange advantage, green go back into here for blue, kills that off. See how that works. Back and gotta leave again. I didn't even hear messages come through. Epic, I'm sorry. Come on, we're leaving. Can't you just let us leave? No. Snapdragon, he's a cool unit. You never blame Jarl for being curious, but allowing a Binderberg agent to acquire the secret technology is out of the question.
I imagine he talks like Bane because he's got a gas mask kind of thing on his face. So no, I am not just going to let you leave.
We definitely want him back attacking. She is a front attacker into all that pile of orange. She's a front attacker as well, but you yawn as a back attacker, so we go straight for the boss. All these guys are going to front attack. Yep, and then this guy goes here. Actually, we'll put sense. Dang! Apex just one-shot the boss. I didn't expect that. Starting to get some 2-star gear. All right, now we're going to go into the MPL industrial zone. Be killing some MPL ships. Give me a second. It's my wife calling. Okay. So I don't. Did you hear me? Yeah. The stream didn't hear that. That's fine. Rating the vault is next. Okay. For anomalies. Da 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 da. Anyway, so I don't need to do this. All these things can go away. MPL hasn't used standard banking in years. Credits, platinum weapons. It's all stored in fortified vaults, far outside inhabited systems. Woo! However, I've kept coordinates of a well-hidden vault in my back pocket for an occasion just like this. All right. So we're going to reach the vault, and then this unlocks the alliance stuff, at which case we will create our own alliance. Mwahaha! That's why I was asking earlier if you had an alt account you wanted to mess around with, because join me. Oh, it's kind of crazy. Like, people talk about in game how useless Apex is. As a new player, Apex is a godsend. Just make him level. Just make him level 40. He clears campaign for you. Like the rest of the ships aren't doing anything.
Sounds about right.
Heaven forbid I actually got him skilled up to where his pattern changed a little bit. And so here in the MPL Industrial Zone, you see the little hand icon there. This is where we start earning hacking gear. So somebody like Apex, if we really want to put those debuffs, or Yu Yan for his bombs, or Yarrow for the corrosion dots.
I can't believe I just spent credits on a buff sets for my Sentinel, but hey.
The buffs is good. Like Sentinel,
So I'm
Cultivator.
just trying to increase. I'm just trying to get my attack stats on Sentinel for Fulton Power.
Yeah, you have like attack percentage main stat for your bottom row.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah. They say, I think I only used one. I think I used like the middle slot. I think the other two I had because I have so many attack pieces leveled up from other stuff that I've goofed around with, and just the attackers. Like I might even have like a 4-star piece of attack gear on him, but it's got like HP defense subs.
Okay, let's just gonna make change. Let's go with it. Oh my god. Getting lucky at the rolls here. Jeez. Oh my god. I just had two pieces that have rolled quad triple on attack stats.
Oh, you got my vibe.
I sure do. Yes.
You got my gear roll vibes. Did you speaking of? Did you see that quad roll into flat defense I posted the other day on a 6-star piece or a 5-star legendary?
Yeah, and then someone said like,
Why
would you do that?
because I literally needed to hit crit rate one time and it was perfect for a unit that I was doing. I was like, of course.
Oh wow. Wait, I just realized. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I always forget that refitting gives extra stats too, so it's like it's not even close to any potential due to speed. I need that speed and all stats. So okay, I think my Sentinel is all set.
I think
For
I'm
now,
starting to
anyway.
pick up the vault on my skinners. So what's our plan now? Well, vaults are mostly armor. Even without a small one like this, we won't get far without someone who can melt through it. Oh, who do we got to do? Slap on some acid and wait it out. Not bad. I have familiar with that, but I have Yarrow is the expert. You're right, Shepard. I can melt through this hunk of metal in no time. Let's get past this patrol and see what we're dealing with.
Sweet.
Did I, there we go. I had to re-click on that to get it to engage. It's like my ship never moved over there with the story. So we'll take when we get to the first vault thing, we'll power up Yarrow to level 30, so he'll have a little bit of juice in him, and we can watch him work. You'll learn how to see a corrosion unit do some jobs. What level are we in? We're in the MPL zone. Back, what zone is this? 6. Just going to want us to put Yarrow in. We're doing so. This vault is much larger than I anticipated. I may need some level upgrades for my ship as well as proper equipment. Okay. So we will give you some. It's going to have me click on his skills to show you. Yarrow apply corrosion debuff if the enemy's hacking score is high enough. This is especially effective against vaults. So we're just going to have us come in here. It's kind of hand-holding here. His hacking score to need to be at least 75 for this fight. Otherwise, the vault may resist some corrosion. Okay. So first is going to have us equip stuff. And based on the fact that we have 2 hacking sets here, we'll get that pretty easily. Our hacking set will increase a unit's hacking score by 30 every 2 pieces equipped. Provide will 40. Words, read them at the bottom. Our hacking equipment set will increase a unit's hacking score by 30 for every 2 pieces equipped. 4 pieces provided will give 60-point increase. And he starts with a base of 34. Quick thing to go here. You can, like, coop. We're going to take this one. Equip. This one, equip. We should have 1 for each slot based on working through. And you see a hacking sub down there. And here. So we have loads of hacking now. You can click on more info down here to get a total of your stats. So he's at 130. Said we need 75 for it. Absolutely going to be okay. Let's go back to the ship. We're going to upgrade him. This is the first time we've put gear on a unit. We'll go ahead and make him level 30. I think he's a fusion unit as well. So having him at 30, that's fine. If necessary, you can feed him. Or if you play like me, you complete the Pokédex and just have eventually everybody level 60. My main account, that's kind of a goal. I want to be like Rux. Level 60. We only need to hold off long enough. So basically... Okay, it's not touching. So what this does is basically going to shoot straight down this row. So you want to have your tank or somebody on here. What we'll do, we don't necessarily need Flamel or Shelter in here. We're going to get Morale as our tank, right? So we'll put these guys back here. And we have a debuffer back here. He's going to throw bombs. I don't know why it's not letting me click on him. Show you his skills here. So he he does concentrate fire and defense down, and then his charge skill he can disable. You can't disable a vault, to my knowledge. And then he gains stealth when he's attacked, or when applying a debuff. Sorry, I was up with somebody. And so one of the things to make sure we survive, like I said, just survive, we're going to put Flamel in here. The vault is going to attack. We need to read these skills. With enemies with the highest current health, it bypass shielding. So what I've done there is I've attracted the vault to attack up here, so I need to put this down here. These guys still have more health, so that means we need to go give Morale some gear. We should have plenty of these sets. With the Fortitude set, 2 pieces of this gives 15% bonus. We'll just throw on what we have. make sure he has got more HP. We're not going to put any of our credits into powering any of this up. Unnecessary for now. Basically, we just got a 45% HP increase. So you can see his total health be 7,300. So now this it should tack on to him. And it wants us to deal 200,000 damage to him. So we'll fire it away. This is something that you get to farm daily once you join an alliance. I've talked about before, we will be forming a alliance for the channel. If you're a new player and you want to experience this together and learn along the way, I'll have everything on here. Hopefully, I can form the alliance pretty quickly. I'm so used to having Hyan on here as a universal healer. So I've made a bit of a mistake. We're going to be fine on here just based on level. How I would adjust this, I would actually have shelter over here and have a damage behind each one. That way your damage dealers are getting on there. So the vaults, when you go through Alliance, we'll have a video on this specifically. They don't actually do damage and you just kill it. You go endlessly. Well, I say endlessly. I found out yesterday they cap at 300. But yeah, so there we are, and we can retry this again if we want. So I can show you exactly what I would do. We'll have Yarrow here, like we're talking about, and I'll actually drop you on. Put shelter in here, and then we'll go Apex here. So now, even whenever the cross pattern hits everybody, everybody's getting heals, and you have double heals, so your tank is never going to go down. Because what will happen is if your tank gets low HP and your heal doesn't top them off, then another row might end up being a higher HP, and then the vault will actually attack that other row. So you need to keep your tank topped off as best possible. And we're getting lucky here. It's kind of an advanced mechanic. We're getting lucky here. The timing of this. Moreau is actually breaking the bubble with his attack. Because he just happens to go right after the antimatter vault. Like I said, it's a lucky thing based on whatever. You have to more finely tune this for your alliance battles. You get some credits and some XP for this. When you're doing it on the alliance side, you actually get equip and upgrade Yarrow. I have equipped. Oh, okay. Let's see. Just wait. So in your alliance battles every day, you can get goodies out of that. Once we get into it, like I said, there'll be a specific video on there. Anything attacking the back? Okay, to the thieves absconding from my vault, you have been noticed. You are being tracked, and I promise you this. Rhodium, what? You will not leave this system unscathed. I believe that was a challenge, Commander. Yes. She wants to challenge me with fisticuffs. Incredibly useful. Hacking software on a hacking set. Oh, we'll talk more about that in other videos. As far as like properly gearing unit types. Or maybe you check out Controller. He's already done a video like that for Tank. So I believe he's going to follow that up with other unit types. The game really does hand you what you need starting off. Oh, and there it is, alliances. We'll sort this out after I get through this last bit of the battle. Actually, I'll wait and I'll do an individual video on making the alliance. But just know, tomorrow when these streams get turned over into individual episodes, there'll be a alliance video. Look for that. Shelter, was it? I always did have a bad feeling about you. Director, it's always a pleasure to live up to expectations. Sounds like one of my comebacks. And you, the commander, with her, the MPO will not forget your face even after you finish your prison sentence. We're going to the Clink. These are all front attacker units. There is a little bit of splash. That green can hurt into there, so we'll move up Apex into here because Apex will have a bubble, so that splash won't really hit Apex, along with the heals from Flamel. I think I'm going to have to spend quite a bit of time in Anomaly playing with all epic units. Curious, I'll have to track how much energy I spend dealing with that. It's quite fortuitous that I have Flamel as an antimatter unit, and there's an antimatter vault event going on right now. So I'll be able to skill up Flamel through there. I'll track how far I can get and how much it actually takes. That'll be when we actually get into, like, we're actually playing the game, skilling up units, leveling units. Right now we're just working through the campaign.